Hi, everybody. This is Rob Yates with some instructions as to how to complete the problems for Section 5-7, questions 2 through 7. I don't know about you guys, but I've been kind of bored lately, so I struck up a conversation with a spider today. Seems nice. He's a web designer. All right, we start with number 2. Arthur travels for 3 hours on a freeway. His average speed is 55 miles per hour. How far does he travel? Okay, to determine that, we use our distance formula, which, to refresh your memory, is distance equals rate times time. All right, so our rate is 55, and our time is 3. 50 times 3 is... I'll let you figure that out. I'm sure you can. All right, number 3. Yolanda is planning a 778-mile trip to visit her daughter in Maryland. She plans to average 50 miles per hour. At that speed, approximately how long will the trip take? Express your answer to the nearest tenth of an hour and then express it in the nearest minute. All right. So remember that we have to take our distance formula and we have to change it to make it... I'm having a little problems here with my pen, but that's supposed to be distance equals rate times time. If we divide both sides by rate cancels, and what we end up with is distance divided by rate equals time. So our distance is 778. I'll try it again over here. 778 divided by our rate, which is 50 miles an hour. What is 778 divided by 50? That will be your total number of hours in tenths. So I'm not going to tell you that. I'm going to let you figure that out. But you take your decimal point, whatever that may be, to determine minutes, point whatever, and you multiply it times 60, and you get the total number of minutes. In addition to his number of hours. So to recap, 778 divided by 50 equals your number of hours and the decimal point involved. Whatever the decimal point is after your total number of whole number hours, you plug that in right here and you multiply it times 60, and that's your number of minutes. And you want to round it up or down as necessary to a full minute. So for instance, if it's 32.6, you'd round up to 33, etc. All right. I believe that's everything on this. Okay. Next page. It says Becky is traveling at 2,100-mile trip to St. Louis to visit a college, and her car averages 30 miles per gallon. About how many gallons will the car use this trip? All right, to determine that, we would take her total miles, 2100, and we would divide it by her rate, or 30. What do you get? That is your answer. Number 6, Robbie's car gets m miles per gallon. Let's write an algebraic expression that represents the number of gallons that he would use when traveling 270 miles. Well, it's basically the same problem as number 5, except instead of 30, we have an m. And instead of 2,100, we have 270. So we would write 270 divided by m. that is your answer. Sorry not to leave more mystery in the question, but it's pretty forthright. All right, let's take a look at our last question, number 7. It says, Michael used his car for business last weekend, and when he reports the exact number of miles he traveled, the company will pay him 52 cents for each mile. And at the beginning of the weekend, the odometer in Michael's car read 74,902.6 miles, and at the end of the weekend, it read 75,421.1 miles. How many miles did Michael drive during the weekend is question A, and B is how much money should his company pay him for driving? Well, let's take a look at A here first. A would be his end of the weekend mileage. 75421.1 minus 74902.6. Whatever you get there is your number of miles he drove. Now for B, it says how much money should his company pay him for driving. That means you have to take what you came up with for A. We're just going to draw a blank there because I can't do it all for you, right? And we're going to multiply that times 0.52. And that will equal your total amount of dollars and cents that Michael needs to receive from his company for his driving over the weekend. Again, to recap, A is 75,421.1 minus 74,902.6. Once you come up with that number, you multiply it for B times 0.52, and that gives you the total amount of dollars that Michael gets to pocket for his work over the weekend. Hope this answers all your questions. Please email Mr. Ogilby or Mr. Yates if you have any questions. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.